Hey y'all, it's Erin from the Underground Railroad. You are tuning in to another great show on the Four Eyed Radio Network. To listen to more of this show and other great shows, tune into www.foureyedradio.com.
That's right, kids. This is your good pal Steve-O from 4i Radio Network. I'm here to talk about a great person. Now, think about it. Who are you going to call when your logo looks like shit? You want a kick-ass logo. You want people to see your logo and go, you know what? That's an awesome logo. I wonder who did that logo. Well, I'll tell you who could do your logos for you. Check out Raven Designs. Special care of your work. Special inquiries, check her out. She's got everything. Ravencruise.com is the place to go because you want a kick-ass logo. You want to stand above the rest. I guarantee it. You hear this song in the background, you know these guys have a kick-ass logo. It's a recognizable logo, and I guarantee it if Raven was back in that time period, she probably would have made it for them. And they would have been like, hells yeah, people know who we are because we got Raven Designs behind us. Check out Ravencruise.com if you want a kick-ass logo for business cards. Maybe you want to put it on a car. These guys did. Maybe you want to put it on your building. You want something kick-ass. You want something that people can see and just go, this is awesome. Check out Ravencruise.com. And you know what? Do it. Do it right now. You got nothing else going on for you right now. Get a kick-ass logo. Check out her artwork, Ravencruise.com.
I looked in the mirror, what did I see? A 9-stone weakling with knobbly knees. I did my knees bend, press ups, touch my toes. Had another sneeze and I blew my nose. I looked in the mirror at my pigeon chest. I had to put on my clothes because it made me depressed. Surely there must be a way for me to change the shape about me. Dissatisfied with what I am, I wanna be a better
Greetings, Cape Crusaders. This is another episode of Long Box Cast. That's right, kids. It's Long Box Cast time. Thank you, Adam West, for spending your Sunday with us. No problem. Steve and Kyle, are you guys going to go down and slide on my bat pole? Probably not. Probably not. You can find us, of course, on longboxcast.com, part of the 4i Radio Network. For more information, visit 4iradio.com. Also, you can listen to our show, but you can find us on 4iradio.com, Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher, Zune Marketplace, BlackBerry Podcasts, Blueberry Podcasts, Miro Guide, Double Twist, YouTube, Swell Radio, SoundCloud, and Player FM. Also, this podcast is brought to you by Raven Designs. Illustrate and designs that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com. I don't know what I'm doing there, but...
I think that was two Batmans in one speech.
Yeah, that's record-breaking. Then we also have... we're also a proud supporter of Comic Care. Comic Care Comics. It's a great foundation that helps kids in the hospitals that are going through either terminal illness or just hanging out in the hospital. Probably not. But... donate comics, and these guys go ahead and dress up the Arizona vendors they have partnered with, and they go ahead and check out children's hospitals dropping off comic books and smiles all about. Yeah, that's right. I came up with that off the fly. Jealous much?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Anyways, Kyle, how are you? Yeah, and I said Kyle.
I'm not Aaron today. Sweet. One of these days I need to meet Aaron, and we just need to talk about you.
It's all going to be bad stuff.
Awesome. Nah, I'm doing good. Wish I was in Pasadena, California right now for the 4th Power Morphicon Power Rangers convention. Wish I was there, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Very cool, very cool. So I do have to bring this up because apparently I've been challenged now 3 times for
3
the
times.
Ice
Nice.
Bucket Challenge. I know your sister nominated you. Did she nominate me or did you nominate me?
She nominated me, and then I decided to nominate you because, well, why the hell not?
So I have not done it yet because I have to now do. I might just do. I'm guessing I just do one. I guess this is how it works.
I honestly don't know what the rules are. Everyone seems to be just taking it to their own thing. The original rules were like either you dump a bucket over your head and only donate $10, or you donate $100. Don't do the bucket. But that's what I did. I just donated $100 to ALS, and I chickened out and did not dump an ice bucket over my head. But
Oh.
I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Well, I know we're probably gonna do the ice bucket because I'm not made of money, Kyle. Unlike you can just donate to charities like it's no problem because you're a good person. Unlike me, who's cheap as hell. Which is weird because I think you would. No, you wouldn't. It would be funnier if like not doing it was the same amount of price of actually getting like an ice bucket full of ice, like to purchase all the stuff to do that.
Right.
So it'd be like just. But to me, it. Like, I get it, it's for charity, good cause, all this kind of stuff, but the thing I just don't get is, like, wouldn't it be better not to do it and donate $100 than just to do $10?
I think a lot of people just want the attention because if you just donate, you don't get to make a video, and you don't get views on that video for people to see you acting like a fool. But, I twisted it around a little bit, and I just made a video of me donating the money instead of the ice bucket.
That's clever. Well, yeah, that's all I'm trying to think about. I know Eric wants to do something clever. Matthew's like, I just don't care, because then the 3 Drunk Geeks challenge us to do it. I don't know if they challenge the entire 4i Radio Network or just the socially awkward people. But yeah, people are just challenging all over the place. And then Eric's like, well, we got to challenge somebody who hasn't done it yet. And I'm like, dude, we should totally pick somebody like who, like everyone's trying to think of somebody who isn't like relevant anymore.
Good luck with that one. I think the best video I've seen so far was Dave Bautista, the guy who plays Drax.
Yeah, that entire bathtub full of it.
Yeah, he was like, guys, I'm a wrestler. I take ice baths daily. This is nothing to me, but I mean, if this is what you guys want me to do, yeah, sure, I'll do it.
But yeah, no, it's like I said, it's for a great cause, all that kind of stuff. So
Definitely.
So again, I haven't said no to the challenge. We are going to do it. We just have to figure out a place to actually do it and the manpower to actually, because I don't know if it's going to be like I dump a bucket on somebody, someone dumps a bucket on me, someone dumps a bucket on Eric kind of thing, or are we going to just get other people behind us just to dump a bucket all at once? But everybody wants to do something different. I want to just do mine completely like just naked or in like a banana hammock.
Oh, no. Why do you give me these images?
Hey, first off, I'm losing weight and I'm looking good. My B cups are now down to an A cup, so...
No way, you too?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but but you really don't have to maintain your shape anymore because you're now engaged and you're going to get married soon. So she's already accepted you for who you are. Me, on the other hand, I got to go back out there and try to date again. So I got to kind of look my best, and then until I'm in a long-term relationship, then I can let myself go again. See, this is what sucks. See, I was in a long-term relationship and left myself go, and then that ended. So that was like 10 years. No, I would say about 5 years of me letting myself go, and now I'm like, oh great, now I got to lose. It's kind of like having a kid, women. It's like I got to get rid of all this baby fat now. I got to get rid of all this relationship fat.
Nah,
if that makes sense.
My work's actually doing the whole Biggest Loser challenge thing, so I'm trying to lose as much weight as I can and join the gym and everything.
Nice.
That and my fiance wants me to lose weight. Something about me looking more like Chris Hemsworth. I don't know what she's talking about. She's crazy.
Chris Hemsworth. So she wants you to be Thor.
Yeah. Or she'll also take Hugh Jackman. I don't know what it is. She's got something for the Australians.
Wait, I didn't know Chris Hemsworth was Australian.
Yep.
Wow. He looks so American to me. Anyways, but yeah, we should probably get to the show. I just wanted to get all that stuff out of the way and things like that. So, Kyle, we were just talking about this right before we went on air recording. I am I don't know what it is. I even woke up, gave myself some time to like fully function. Like I'm just never on. I have a feeling once I start doing Arcade Bros again, it's going to be the same thing where I'm like not on my A game. But Kyle and I were just talking about Sin City 2 came out, and this just kind of went right under the radar to both of us. And I don't know if anybody else felt the same way. It was, again, this movie, I felt like they did not advertise it as well as they did the first one. And then I don't know if it fell under the spell of last one came out in 2005, and then this one kept getting pushed back, and then it finally gets released like in August, and everyone's just kind of like, meh.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta look at this month. I mean, the very first weekend this month we had Guardians of the Galaxy, followed by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then like there was a 1 week gap, and now you got Sin City. I mean, it's been a very busy month for movies for nerds.
Yeah, and next year is even going to be even more swamped. I heard there's like so many things, and then even the year of 2016 is going to be a huge big thing for nerds because not only are we getting, I guess, we're getting the next X-Men movie, we're getting the next Captain America movie, we're getting the Batman movie, but we're also getting the Power Ranger movie.
Yep.
So there's a lot of stuff that's coming out. Now with the Power Ranger movie, you're a fan of Power Rangers. I know a little bit of Power Rangers. I'm not like into the entire universe. I think I stopped watching once it got to Turbo. But I did see the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. And do you think they're going to do the same thing with the armor kind of like look on their costume, or are they going to try something new? Do you think they're going to bring back old cast members, or are you just like they're just going to? And do you think they're going to do an origin story of the Power Rangers?
From what it sounds like, they might be doing an origin story. It kind of sounds like they might be they might go with the same characters again, but they're going to recast them with younger actors and whatnot. They'll probably go for like actors no one's ever even heard of. There might be like that one big name for the movie just to attract people, but as for cameos, I mean, a lot of people are in talks about wanting to be just having like a small cameo. Personally, I think if you just had like a quick second of like the original characters just like out in like a crowd of somewhere just like cheering on the Power Rangers as they're fighting the bad guy, just going, yeah, go on, go. That's perfect. Just a quick little cameo, nothing special. It'll please everyone.
I think if you do that, whatever cameo you decide to use, make sure you make all the Power Rangers, like the original ones, wear their colors.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think that'd be hilarious.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Now, do you think they're going to do like the original Power Rangers, like when it first started, they're going to bring like Rita into it, they're going to bring those kind of people, or you think they're going to do like an entirely new villain?
Now, I'm not 100% sure, honestly. I've heard rumors of Ivan Ooze, I've heard rumors of Rita. Not really sure what they're planning here, but it's probably going to be, the original Mighty Morphin, at least the look of the original Mighty Morphin stuff. And as for your original question of metallic or just whatever, I think they might actually go with the metallic armor, kind of resembling, maybe looking like what was that? Pacific Rim style, maybe.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm hoping for. Now, don't quote me on that because they still haven't said much. All they said so far is 2016, which I think is a little too soon for it, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, that is true. Do you think they're going to get like big name actors to play the villains? So if they do like or even like Alpha 5 and stuff, that's all like Sean Connery is the voice of Alpha 5. It's all like aye Power Rangers. Get like I don't know. Tracy Morgan will be. What was the master guy, the head guy, who was all like, Master! Zordon, he's all like, Alpha, find me teenagers with attitude, or I'm gonna get you pregnant again.
What?
I don't want to have sex with you, you're a floating head. How do we even have sex? It doesn't make sense. I highly doubt. I mean, I will say this. I highly doubt Sean Connery is going to come out of retirement just to do that. But I will say this: Tracy Morgan might. I just got hit by a Walmart truck. Of course, I'm taking this job.
Yeah, well.
But we can do a rundown now. I finally got to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
And I finally got to see the Amazing Spider-Man 2. We'll start with
Nice,
Teenage
yeah.
Mutant Ninja Turtles. You gave it, I believe, what, 5.5 shells?
Yeah, it was like a 6, maybe. I think maybe 6.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with like a straight 5 shells with this
Okay.
one. I'll put it this way. Again, this Power Ranger, for everybody who's our age, it is not for us. This is for the new generation. Don't get me wrong. As soon as the movie started, you got to see the turtles. You got to see them interact and stuff. It did bring me back to going like, okay, they nailed these characters.
Mhm.
The biggest problem I did have, though, was, again, if you're going for this movie, do not go for a storyline. Storyline has way too many plot holes. I mean, it's entertaining. Don't get me wrong. It's very weird. I think to me, one of the best fight scenes in it. Now, these are all going to be spoilers right now. One of the best fight scenes in it was when you finally got to see Shredder and Splinter fight.
Oh, yes.
That was pretty
awesome.
badass.
When you get to see like him magnetically return the knives back to his hand.
Yeah, and
That was
he's
pretty
just
cool.
like dodging them, and I just love the fact that like he just picks up a katana like Splinter with one hand and is just like blocking like Shredder. I thought that was kind of cool. The biggest problem I have, there is no reason why Shredder and Splinter have a rivalry. There's nothing that connects them.
Exactly.
And I was kind of disappointed with that because I'm like, even the 1991 movie was able to connect it, even though it was a bullshit story as well. So like, I was a rat and I learned from my master. I'm like, bull fucking shit. Rats. He wasn't even mutated yet. He was a normal rat and he learned kung fu from his master. All right, if you're gonna believe that, then don't even bother trying to bash this new movie. Then I will say that because the excuses how he learns in this book is about as relevant as in the 1991 movie. Okay.
I think they used that same excuse for the 2000s cartoon.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no link between Shredder and there's no technically there is no link between Shredder and Splinter at all. Like there's no reason for him. Basically, all Shredder wants is the turtles. I thought Shredder's plan was a little kind of weak. I was like, really, this is what you plan on doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
It wasn't really like a big thing. But overall, I mean the action scenes were great. The fighting scenes were great. All the turtles I think did a lot of funny stuff or cool stuff and had some great ideas and interactions with each other. But yeah, I mean, again, this movie, if you do want to see it in theaters, go see a matinee. Don't pay full price or just wait for it to hit Netflix because you will be entertained. And it does if you're gearing this towards kids, I really felt like, wow, you took a long time to get to just the first time we get to see the turtles. Don't get me wrong, if you're an adult watching Megan Fox run around and do stuff, I'm fine with. Such as that great line scene in the truck where he's all like, April, what are you doing? And you just see her ass. And he's just like, you're doing a great job, April, keep it up. I felt that I love Will Arnett's character in it. I just felt like they didn't give him enough good material to actually be funny because Will Arnett is freaking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And I just don't think they worked with it. And then plus when you brought Mikey in, and Mikey was pretty much... You had way too many... You had like 2 comic reliefs at that point. And it was just all like, make your decision.
Now, let me ask you this. What did you think of Johnny Knoxville as Leonardo?
You know what?
Did you, like, completely forget about it?
No, you know what? I kind of did forget about it, but I didn't really even hear Johnny Knoxville in it.
Yeah.
To me, it just sounded like Leonardo. Like, okay, this is the voice for Leonardo. This is the thing I was very curious about. Even with, like, Tony Shalhoub being, like, Splinter, there were certain times where, like, he had, like, that, like, oh, my children, and all that kind of stuff. But then there was sometimes where he slipped into almost, like, a kind of different accent in certain points. But it just felt weird to me that, like, everybody who did the motion capture for their turtle voiced the turtles.
Except for Leonardo.
So I go, well, how bad were you at acting then? And then I wonder how he felt when it was all of a sudden it's like, Johnny Knoxville cast as Leonardo. He's like, all right, that's cool. I get it. They're probably going to cast other big celebrities to play the other turtles. Nope. So it was just kind of weird for me. Like that. Like I just want to know, like, did he not have a? I'm like, no. Leonardo, they actually gave him more of a personality. I felt in the newest version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Nickelodeon. Especially Jason Biggs was voicing him, which I absolutely liked. I was like, oh, Jason Biggs is actually doing a really good job with this character. He's actually making me like this character. And it's not like I never liked Leonardo. I just felt like it's like everybody had something, and Leonardo was just kind of there.
Yeah.
This one they actually kind of gave him, like a purpose, and it's a character that you're kind of like, oh, I kind of like this, this character now. But and I know Seth Green's going to take over for him, which I'm curious. I am really curious. I love Seth Green, but I'm just really curious what kind of a voice is he going to do, unless Seth Green really just has a Jason Biggs impersonation, and that's all he's gonna do. Which I think would be hilarious, but we'll see what happens. But it's just it was just weird to me that it's like I just was like, how bad were you that they had to replace your name? Unless they were just like, no one likes Leonardo, let's just throw, like, we need a huge celebrity attached to one of these turtles. Because if anything, I did like the guy who did do Raphael's voice and played him, but I was like, if you're going to cast anybody to play Raphael, if you're trying to get celebrities, Johnny Knoxville would have been a really good pick for that. But after seeing the movie, I'm like, he actually did a pretty good job with Leonardo, so.
Mm-hmm. Now, isn't the guy who did Raph the guy who plays Colossus in the X-Men movies?
Yes, I believe so, and also I believe he was also on, and I think he played Aquaman in Smallville. That's at least what my brother said.
So he's had more lines in Turtles than the entire X-Men franchise.
That is true, yes. But it was cool though, because he actually didn't use like his normal like voice. Like he actually did like kind of like a Brooklyn kind of like accent with Raphael, which was kind of cool. Which I think is funny how like Michelangelo's like a surfer guy, and you're like, well, he's not growing up on the West Coast, okay.
Right.
Then you got Leonardo, who pretty much just sounds like normal, so you're kind of like, okay, that kind of works for him because he's kind of like, you know, peaceful. You know, he's more zen. He's more like Master Splinter than probably any of the other turtles. Donatello, I felt his voice worked great because he's a nerd. He's learning these things, and that's the kind of voice. He's kind of awkward. He kind of, you know, and then like Raphael's got this Brooklyn accent, but it's just kind of like, so did Raphael like, he's like, I'm gonna go grow up, I'm gonna go live in Brooklyn for a little bit, then I'll come back, and he has an accent, and Michelangelo's like, dude, I'm going down to like Cali, bro, you know, or something. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, overall, it's a pretty good movie. Hopefully they work on stuff with the sequel. But again, if you're literally trying to be like, this Ninja Turtles is gonna revive my childhood, it will not.
No.
Again, they had a great. To me, I just feel like if they wanted to, you probably maybe should have done a couple of rewrites. But apparently they felt like, nope, this script is solid, and we're just gonna go with it. Yeah, nothing at the end of the Turtles movie except for Michelangelo and Raphael jumping on a boobs.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It was kind of disappointing on that one. I was like, really? You couldn't give us anything? You couldn't show us all the stuff. But we will go with The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I finally got to see it.
Nice. Yeah, I just watched it yesterday.
Like I said, I did enjoy it more than the first one. Right off the bat, they start off with very good action sequence going on with you get to find out about, you know, Peter's parents, what kind of became of them, and then you got, you know, Spider-Man like taking out a couple of thugs. So right off the bat, they kind of like boom, boom, boom with action, which was really nice. And then it hits that whole like, oh, okay, okay, when are we gonna no action? Okay, for a movie that's like 2 hours and almost 30 freaking minutes.
Yeah.
You could have edited out a lot of stuff. I would say with me, the weirdest part was you got to see Paul Giamatti, like, and I was like, all right, cool, there's the Rhino. All right, where does he fit into this? Because that's all you kind of showed us throughout the previews was like, Paul Giamatti, he's in the Rhino suit. Then you got, you know, and then all of a sudden, like, halfway through the movie, I was literally going like, what the fuck happened with the Rhino? Like, I was literally sitting there, like, going, like, when does he fall into play? Like, what is this kind of thing? I'm like, I really enjoyed Paul Giamatti, like, how he was playing the character, you know, and I didn't even think he was going to give him, like, an accent or anything like that. I was like, oh, this is really kind of cool and interesting and stuff. It's like, I want to know more about him. It's like, I could really have cared less about the Harry Osborn story because, honestly, we've seen Green Goblin way too many times now. I'm kind of over it.
Well, I mean, this was a little bit of a different take than, you know, what we were used to before. I mean, you know, they just practically just killed off Norman Osborn.
Yeah, which was like, damn.
Yeah. And then, you know, you meet Harry, and he's all like, you know, I'm the boss. Oh, hey, Peter, how's it going? You know, stuff like that, and just start becoming like a douchebag and whatnot. But, you know, it's Harry Osborn. What do you expect?
No, and I get that. Like, this is actually, to be honest with you, did not really care about I actually thought the guy who played Harry Osborn, I think he portrayed him very well. I think he did a great job where it's like this kid who's basically been distant from his father for like years gets called back, and he's like, now you have to run the company, but guess what? You're dying because this thing is genetic, this disease thing. And I'm like, okay, so, like, I was in on that, and I like Peters and his little relationship and stuff. But again, it's like, honestly, what really blew me out of the water was Jamie Foxx.
Oh, he was great.
Right before he even became Electro, just his character before him, Max, was like, I was like, wow, he nailed this character, like, really. And it was such a different role for him. Meaning, like, I've never seen him be that character where he's kind of like, and then just like his obsession with Spider-Man and how it became like consuming his entire life and all this kind of crazy stuff. I did like that whole setup where they're fighting in like Times Square. And like Peter's trying to talk him down. He's like, look, I know you don't know what's happened to you. We want to get you help and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is really kind of cool because they didn't make it like a normal kind of thing where it's like, this guy's blowing up shit. Let's just start fighting him and stuff like that. Like it actually became more of like a Spider-Man comic book where he's trying to talk to the actual character if they don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, it was great. And then cameramen just start focusing up on Spidey and causing Electro to get jealous because, no one's noticing him anymore. They're starting to notice Spider-Man. And I thought it was like a little bit of a different way to make the villain actually hate Spider-Man than the original just whole, oh, you beat me up, you foiled my original plan, you killed my wife, stuff like that.
Yeah, like they kind of did like a really good job. I mean, and it was kind of like, they did a different take on it. So it was a good movie overall. Special effects were really cool. A lot of the fight scenes were really cool. I like how they keep doing the stuff with science, especially when he's trying to figure out how to ground his like webbing, so like he can't shock it or anything like that. And then I actually love the fact where like Gwen's all like, have you tried magnetizing them? And he's just all like everything he's tried, he didn't even think of that. And that's what I liked about their dynamic because Peter and Gwen were both like smart people, very intelligent human beings, and I do enjoy how they really did bring that into these movies because as much as I like the Tobey Maguire's ones, they really didn't emphasize that much on him like actually using science while he's fighting or like coming up with plans and stuff like that. They just kind of showed him in school going like, Parker, you're the top of the class.
Well, I mean, he had his organic web shooters for that, so I mean, he didn't really have to design his own web shooters. This one here kind of just shows more of the scientific with Spidey than anything else.
Yeah, no, that's true. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. I like how they kind of ended it where it's like, Electro's possibly not... I kind of like this version of Spider-Man where they're not killing off villains.
Yeah, they just kill off everyone else.
Like, that's what I kind of really liked about, like, the Batman, Christopher Nolan one. It's like they really didn't kill off, like, major villains. Like, it's all like Scarecrow was locked up in Arkham. Joker was locked up in Arkham. I mean, the only one that really died was Two-Face, Harvey Dent, but then they try to play that into the whole... like thing, but just that's what I liked about these superhero movies now. That it's like, don't try to kill off these villains because they used to do that all the time back in the original ones, and it's like, we can't bring these characters back. You can't do any of these kind of cool dynamics. So and then how it ends was kind of weird, where it's all like Peter's upset because Gwen Stacy dies. Spoilers, everybody. If you haven't read a comic book or knew anything about, I did like the one. I forgot about this. The one little Easter egg, Felicia.
Oh, yes, Felicia Hardy.
Yeah, so I wonder if she's, that's actually going to be her.
Did you catch Alistair Smythe?
No, who? What?
Yeah, BJ Novak, in the beginning, the boss of Max Dillon, the douchebag boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Alistair Smythe. Guy who creates the Spider Slayers.
Oh, I did not even put that together. Because when I saw him, I was like, oh, it's the guy from The Office.
Yeah. I feel like his last scene that you see him in, like when he's getting into the elevator, Max goes, Smythe, you can't do this to me, Smythe. It's my birthday. And he's like, have a good one. And that's the last you see of him. But that's the guy who creates the Spider Slayers.
That's right.
And, yeah. Has those weird things over his shoulders in the 90s cartoon.
Yeah, they like mutated him with something or whatnot. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Okay, well, at least they're doing that kind of cool stuff. But yeah, then it ends, and they're like, I'm putting together a team, with Harry Osborn being locked up. It's like, I want to keep it small, and it's like, we only have one member, and then, of course, you see the Rhino costume, and then the Rhino shows up. So basically, it kind of Spider-Man 2 to me was a really long movie. You could have shortened it, but it just made me feel that all you're really waiting for now is Amazing Spider-Man 3.
And Sinister Six.
Well, that's the thing. Are they doing now the Sinister Six movie, are they going to do the 5 months where Spider-Man's on hiatus? And like they're putting the team together, they're getting everyone to work together and stuff like that, and then
I wouldn't be surprised if it was basically just. I have a feeling Spider-Man's still gonna be in the movie, but it's gonna be more of Sinister Six movie. I wouldn't be surprised if they were gonna call it the Amazing Spider-Man Sinister Six and just have it like a spin-off series, almost like where you just see Harry Osborn and the guy in the shadow. He's getting like everything ready, and he starts sending out like individual people at first, just testing their style against Spider-Man, and Spider-Man keeps beating them up and whatnot, and then eventually you see all six, you get them all six together, and then you're about ready to see them fight Spider-Man, and then credits, and then you gotta wait till Spider-Man 3.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. That's all I'm just curious about. I'm just all like, I love to see a Sinister Six movie because we've been waiting for this thing like forever, and just to see a bunch of like villains team up. I don't think it's really ever been done like movie wise.
No, I don't think so. Now, did you see the credits?
Yes.
Yeah, while watching credits, they show like all like the Sinister Six style, so they tell you who's going to be in it. Yeah, and they just announced the final two members of Mysterio and Kraven the Hunter.
Perfect.
So, yes, I am stoked because I own the first appearance of Mysterio, and that price just skyrocketed, so I'm quite happy right now.
Well, if you'd like to donate to the 4i Radio... No. Which is really cool because we have not seen Kraven the Hunter in film form, and we have not seen Mysterio in film form. And I always thought Mysterio was actually kind of a really kind of unique character, you know. I liked how he was a special effects person, and he was able to, you know, and it's like just one kind of bad thing happened with him in Spider-Man where he kind of destroyed his career or, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, Kraven the Hunter would be kind of cool to see.
We also haven't seen Vulture.
Yeah, Vulture will be another cool one. Rhino, obviously, we finally got to see him, but we will get to see more of him, hopefully.
Yep. And Doc Ock will also be in it, and I've heard that the guy who played Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2, he wants to reprise his role as Doc Ock in this.
Ooh.
Now, he says he wants to. He hasn't talked to Sony or anything like that, but I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I say go with that because I'm really trying to think of who could play Doc Ock, and I think he did a phenomenal job. And especially they put a new twist on it where he doesn't really have his wife or anything like that, and he's just kind of like he could be like a scientist and all these kind of things. I think right now he'd be a pretty much good pick with that. I really hope they don't try to do it how they did in Amazing Spider-Man, or not Amazing Spider-Man, the Ultimate Spider-Man comic book series where they actually made like Doc Ock like this buff guy.
No, yeah.
I really hated that. What I really liked is like what kind of like Doc Octopus looked like in the Spider-Man 2 movie. He reminded me of I think it's called The Spectacular Spider-Man. I'm trying to remember the artist's name, but how he just gave him like a trench coat and he just had sunglasses and kind of stuff like that. Was kind of a cool take. But yeah, no, Spider-Man 2, it's a good film. Really lengthy though, for what you actually gave me. There's a lot of stuff you could cut out. You know, it's like, don't get me wrong, I love Spider-Man and stuff like that, but I just feel like these new reboots just, I mean, granted, the next movie is, I guarantee, will be a lot better than the original Spider-Man 3, but right now, your first two movies, I still like the Tobey Maguire versions right now. Don't get me wrong, I love Andrew Garfield's quips, and I love how he talks Spider-Man, and he does all these kind of funny things, and I think he's nailed that character. But just story, I would just say storyline-wise, I feel like the first two Spider-Mans from Sam Raimi are a lot stronger than the amazing ones that are going on right now.
See, I feel the opposite. I feel like the amazing ones are a lot better than the originals, but, you know, it's our own opinions. We are allowed to have them.
Oh, no, and I completely agree. Like, I think that's why we have a good dynamic here. It's like, you say certain things, exactly. I'm like, what? And then I say certain things, you're like, what? So, but yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for the movie news. I would say Amazing Spider-Man to me, it would probably get especially the sequel, I would give it probably about an 8 web shooters.
Okay.
Because to me, I thought just the original Spider-Man 2 was just like just an all-around good movie. So, but yeah, an 8. The last one I felt like was probably maybe a 6.5, because to me it just took forever to finally get to where it needed to get to. But this one I did like. I like how they updated his costume. It's kind of weird how Spider-Man costume pretty much just kind of looks the same from the other ones. I think his eyes are probably lighter, and I think they're bigger, and then like his suit's a lot brighter, because I think the Tobey Maguire suit, especially in the second one, I think they like kind of darkened it a bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10 as well. I mean, I love the movie. I cried at the end. Yes, I cried. I don't care. But
It's okay. It's okay. Hey, I cried too, because I'm like, oh, Emma Stone, my girlfriend.
nah, she'll come back for something else.
Well, yeah, they're gonna do. Well, it was very surprised. Like Dennis Leary kept showing up into the entire film, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which again, another character I really like, Gwen Stacy's father, and then also like Dennis Leary, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna kill him off in this. So in the next Spider-Man movie, is Spider-Man gonna get attached to Gwen's mom, and then she dies? Or they're just gonna start killing off the entire Stacy family? Is that how it works?
I don't know. I'm hoping they bring in Mary Jane Watson.
Well, technically, she was supposed to be in this movie, but they wanted to build around Gwen and Peter Parker's relationship a bit more before they kill her off. So I'm pretty sure. I know she's been casted. I don't know if they're going to recast her, but I know the person was casted, and she's basically going to be in the next couple of movies coming up. So.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the deleted scenes from the movie yet?
No, because I don't have. I basically just kind of I watched it with courtesy of Eric Dewey, and
Gotcha.
I didn't have any of the special feature stuff yet. So once I can go out and finally pick that copy up, I'll probably then check out all that kind of. I'm always into that kind of stuff. So.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I know one deleted scene at least is you see Peter at the gravesite for Gwen, and right behind him shows up is his father. So should be interesting to watch once I finally watch it.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to think what else. That's pretty much all I have for movie news. So I'm finally caught up with all Marvel movies that were released this year. Until next year, I guess. I'm trying to think anything new in the comic book world. I know I didn't really update any of the show notes from last week because I'm awesome like that.
I could have done something too, but I didn't because I'm equally as awesome. I don't know.
This really isn't a segment for it, but Diablo 3 is really cool.
Nice. Well, I was looking down here. You got the whole, let's see, Sidekicks Corner. We haven't actually done that yet.
Yeah, I really don't know what the Sidekick Corner is, to be honest with you, because the original guy who came up with this, my brother, he came up with pretty much all the show notes, and I've just never gone through and actually figured out what any of this stuff was. I think Sidekick Corner was supposed to be for comic books for kids that are released this month, but I never went ahead and checked out any of that kind of
Gotcha.
stuff. Yeah, I'm so horrible at mine.
We talk about our favorite sidekicks from the comic book universe or something.
Well, actually, you know what? Since we don't have a segment, we can talk about that. So if you had to pick, do you want to do from different universes, such as like DC, Marvel, or just your favorite sidekick of all time?
Let's just go with favorite sidekick of all time.
Okay, so Kyle, what's your favorite sidekick of all time?
All right, it's let's see, Kid. What's his name? Was it Kid Devil, Blue Devil's sidekick or whatever?
I don't even know who those people are. What?
Yeah, it's DC Universe Blue Devil.
This is the first I've ever heard about Blue Devil. Enlighten me on this character.
Well, he's a Blue Devil for one. I haven't read any of his books lately. He was in Shadow Pact for a while back when they were doing the whole leading up to Crisis on Infinite Earth, or not, one of those freaking Crisis things that they were doing right before the whole 52 thing. They had the Shadow Pact. He was a member of that. It's pretty strong. But anyways, his sidekick, Kid Devil, who later on became Red Devil or something like that, joined the Teen Titans. He was basically just like a... Let's see. Oh, that's right, yeah. Blue Devil worked for like the movies or something like that. He was like an actor. And one of like the gophers or the camera guys or just a little kid who just ran around getting things ready and whatnot. He was like his biggest fan or something like that, and he he started modeling after him. He just put on like this little red suit, and then eventually later on he made a deal with the devil and actually literally became Kid Devil with a whole red. It just became like a little devil form thing and joined the Teen Titans.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I just pulled up the Wikipedia page to take a look at this character, so I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm honestly, this baffles me. I've never even heard of this character before. And actually, it sounds like it's right up my alley too, because I absolutely love like Hellboy and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. Should check out Shadow Pact. That was a really good mini-series that came out. They had a bunch of magical characters and whatnot. They had to stop just the Spectre.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to stop him. It had let's see, there was Blue Devil, Ragman. Yes, I'm not making that one up. And a bunch of other characters that I do not remember off the top of my head right now.
Okay. Well, it's weird because I've seen both of these television shows, Justice League Unlimited. He was voiced by Lex Lane, and he was in the episode Dark Heart, which is funny because I've watched like all these episodes and I don't even remember this character, which is weird.
Oh.
And then he also made a brief appearance. He didn't speak at all, but he made a brief appearance in the Young Justice show, which again, Netflix, if you're picking up series, pick that one up.
Actually,
I love Young
Justice.
Justice.
Is on there.
No, it's on there. But the only problem is it's on there, but it's only been like 2 seasons. I mean, like make more, because I thought it was a really well done show. Because like I absolutely loved Teen Titans when that was on. Then you got rid of it. Then you brought back the new Teen Titans thing, where I'm just like, okay, this is not for me. This is for kids. That's fine. But then you gave us Young Justice. I'm like, oh, I love this take on everything. And then it's like, oh, here's two. It's like, and then you just get rid of stuff. It's like, I don't know why you get rid of stuff that has such a huge fan base, like following.
Gotcha. All right, here we go. I got the team lineup for Shadow Pact. They were in the Day of Vengeance issue from 2005. Let's see, members: Blue Devil, Detective Chimp, Enchantress, DC, not Marvel, Nightmaster, Nightshade, and Ragman.
Which is weird because I've heard of Detective Chimp. And I think I only know that character because he was on, I think, like Batman Brave and the Bold a few episodes.
Yes, he was. Yeah, I remember seeing that episode and I was like, holy crap, it's Detective Chimp.
See, again, another great series that, like, I know a lot of people were just like, oh, you ruined Batman. I'm like, dude, you have to take it for what it is. It's basically a campy Batman show, but they brought in so many DC characters that you have never seen.
It was a great way to introduce little kids into characters that they probably never even heard of and give them a chance to actually get into comics and be like, hey, do you have any comic books with Killer Moth or Detective Chimp or
Plastic Man,
guy? Yeah.
Like, it was a really good show. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, the entire series is now on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, just go ahead and check it out, because it is good. It's really good. And they even did one where it was very surprising. They actually did go dark for one episode where Batman goes after the guy who killed his parents.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Chill, I think the guy's name was.
Mm-hmm. Joe Chill.
Yeah, Joe Chill, which is a great, like, episode. So, but yeah, okay, cool. Blue Devil, so his sidekick, Red Devil, or Kid Devil, that turns into Red Devil. But yeah, no, this is definitely now a character I'm going to check out.
All right, so what about you? You got any favorite sidekicks?
Favorite sidekicks? I'm going to have to go with probably the most famous sidekick of all time, probably Robin, the Boy Wonder.
Which Robin?
Dick Grayson.
Okay.
The original Robin.
Okay. If you said Damian, this whole friendship's over.
Who?
If you said Damian, this whole friendship is over.
You know what? I've only read one. I think it was one of the Batman comics with Damian, and I really have no issues with Damian, but I just also basically I like Tim Drake Robin just because he was the only other Robin, I believe, that Ra's al Ghul said, "Oh, you're probably one of the best, the world's greatest detective next to Batman." I believe he was the only other I believe he's the only one besides Batman who got that recognition from Ra's al Ghul. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Due to the fact that I also like the fact that, like, you know, Batman saw his tragedy. I mean, a great storyline to pick up for the Boy Wonder. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's campy and stuff like that. No, you really want to see a cool one. Is check out Frank Miller's and Jim Lee's Batman and Robin All Star. I believe it was one volume. You can probably get it in trade paperback. I remember picking it up on a whim, and I was just like, I love this. It's Frank Miller's writing. You got the great artwork of Jim Miller, and it's such a great, Batman. It's such a great Batman origin story for Robin.
The only problem with it was like it was coming out like once every like 5 months or something like that. It took forever for the book for each issue to come out because I think, the guys who were doing it were like busy with other projects and whatnot. But I mean, like you said, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, I wanted them to do more. I thought it was a great series, but of course then they did the whole reboot with the New 52, so we'll see how that goes. But of course then Robin then becomes, Nightwing and kind of goes out on his own. And I think he was, and then I believe when Batman was apparently dead, but really just transported back through time, Dick Grayson took over the mantle as being Batman.
Right.
So I also thought that was kind of, cool. But yeah, no, Dick Grayson, he was such a great character, especially when, like, now the only weird problem I always try to figure out was in the Teen Titans, was it the Tim Drake Robin, or was it, the Jason Todd Robin?
Oh, in the cartoon, or?
Just in, like, general, because I know it was Robin, like, Tim, what's his face? I know it was Dick Grayson, but then it's like, then he becomes Nightwing, and then it's like, did Jason Todd take over, or did they just find somebody else? Because I'm trying to remember, there was somebody before Damian after Jason Todd, wasn't there?
Let's see, it was, alright, the order went Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, there was that blonde-haired chick for, like, a couple issues.
Yeah, wasn't that, like, the girlfriend of Tim Drake or something like that?
Yeah, blonde-haired Stephanie something, and she later on became something else, I don't remember. And then I think it was Damian, and then you got that one chick from the Dark Knight Returns.
Yes.
Alternate future, So
I mean, there've been multiple different Robins and stuff like that, but I think Dick Grayson was a pretty good sidekick, for Batman. Even when they had their falling out and everything like that, you still can see, like, those two characters, they still care about each other and stuff like that, even though they did part their ways and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, yeah, I would say he's probably the hands down. I'm trying to even think if there's any, like, Marvel characters sidekicks that I actually enjoyed, and I think most of them are just, like, ripoffs, like Bucky can go fuck himself. But yeah. Winter Soldier, awesome. But then technically he's not a sidekick anymore, so.
Well, have you read any of the Young Avengers books?
No.
That's actually pretty good. I mean, they're not really sidekicks to the characters, but, I mean, they're basically just... I mean, you got Hulking, who is basically just a Skrull, and he's kind of like represents the Hulk, obviously. You got Wiccan, who started off as Asgardian, because he was trying to represent Thor, but then found out he has more like magical witch powers, so he became more like the Scarlet Witch, who later on come to find out he's the son of the Scarlet Witch. You got his brother, who's Speed, who's Quicksilver. Then you got Patriot, who is the grandson of like one of the first black Captain America. You got Scott Lang's daughter, Stature. They have the Vision on their team, but it's like a remodeled Vision, and then you have...
I guess you could say they were looking in a new Vision. They're taking...
Yeah. And then some other chick, she was good with archery, so they just called her Hawkeye. Yeah, real original there.
Yeah, she's like, really? Okay, fine. I can't be like Hawkette or something? No? Alright. This is lame.
Oh, and I'm kind of looking right now. Apparently, they're going to be introducing the Absorbing Man into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know that,
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I heard they also announced that they're going to bring in Mockingbird into the series, so maybe we'll actually get to see Hawkeye in the series since, they, like, get married or something like that.
Oh, possibly. I mean, they have done. I mean, the one I guess was it one of the Asgardians. I mean, did make appearance on an
Yeah,
episode of
Lady
Shield. So
Sif.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the other characters would make a brief appearance. And so, I mean, heck, I didn't even think I'd see Samuel Jackson in the series, and you did. So.
Oh, well, I mean, if you actually watch it, it's actually pretty funny. Like, you can tell, like, Samuel Jackson and the guy who plays Agent Coulson are just, like, in a completely separate room, and they just film it, and then you got the guy that they're interacting with, and you can just tell, like, they're both, like, two different, like, locations, but they just film it and just put it together and make it look like that they're talking to each other, but you can just tell it's like, yeah, that's... No, you're not going to fool me.
Yeah, but speaking of getting, actually, this was a great segue, actually, because now it just reminded me of you got to finally see our first glimpse of Ant-Man, some still photos if you haven't seen those yet. We have Paul Rudd just he basically kind of looks like the guy from Prototype video game. It's just the character Scott in pretty much like a hoodie, like a jacket, kind of like gloves. Like this is probably when he was in his, thief days and stuff like that. So it looks like they have started production on the Ant-Man movie. I still don't know. Again, I'm gonna see the movie. I'm not saying not saying it's gonna be a bad movie. I'm just not really invested into the movie just because it had so many stops and delays with switching, directors and then changing the format of some of the characters. One person did bring up a good point. Maybe the reason why that Hank Pym's daughter is going to be washed just so they're not married and he doesn't have to slap her around while he's drunk. Kind of thing. So, but yeah, I think the stills have been put out. I think there's only just one shot right now, besides all the little posters they've shown. So, so that's in production right now. So,
nice. See, did you hear those pop vinyl things with like the little bobbly heads are making dancing baby Groot?
Yep, by popular demand, man.
Yep.
Which is funny because I will say this: with all the great marketing they did for Guardians of the Galaxy, everything leading up to the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Disney Infinity Universe, like all the figures, I just saw those on Amazon. I just added all of them to my wish list because I'm like, these are really kind of cool looking. Just even they're getting a cartoon show, the sequels in works and stuff like that. The one thing they did not count on was trying to be like, maybe we should have made a dancing Groot.
Yeah.
Everybody's been like, I want a dancing Groot. I want to have a Groot at my desk, put music on, and he dances to it. People want that. And, that was, the one thing. They got everything else down to a T, marketing-wise, toys-wise, all these cool things. They did a smart thing with their toys. You buy pretty much every action figure, and you get a piece of Groot to put together.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those.
So it's like, well, that was
them, but...
Yeah, no, but it's well, that was a smart idea. If people want to get all the action figures, it's like, well, I kind of have to because now I got to buy, I want Groot. But it's like the dancing Groot was one of those things that they did not anticipate to actually be like, oh, we probably should have done this. Granted, they're probably going to do it now because it's a huge thing. And don't get me wrong, it is going to sell. It's going to probably sell like freaking hotcakes. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. But I think we're going to wrap up this episode. Kyle. This is pretty good. I have not called you Aaron yet.
Nice.
Kyle, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Deadpool_Ranger. If you haven't started following me yet, start following me now. I mean, it's almost comic book TV time. I'll start live tweeting some stuff. So, yeah. I might throw out some funny stuff, might help you catch some Easter eggs that you may not have caught while watching. So, Deadpool_Ranger on Twitter, and you can also find me on my website at DeadpoolRangerTalks.com. And that's about it.
Well,
what about you, man?
Kyle, you just helped me out now during TV season. While you live tweet, what we'll do for every episode then, we'll have a segment where you will tell us all about the Easter eggs. On the episodes, if you want to do that. I think that would be a really cool segment because half the time I don't catch half of this stuff. I'll catch it later and be like, oh, okay. But yeah, so we'll look forward to that. Kyle's superhero Easter egg hunt.
Ooh, that's awesome. I like that.
So, of course, we do have a lot of series starting up, I believe, next month. I know Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming back. Agent of Carter doesn't start until January, correct?
Right.
And then you also have the anticipating...
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say we have the anticipation of Gotham starting on Fox.
Yes, that may be one show I may not watch because I honestly have no interest in seeing another cop show taking place in Gotham. I may watch the premiere, but as of right now, I have no real interest in seeing it. So I'll at least watch the premiere, but that's about it.
Well, I know I'm going to give the show a shot. I think I'm going to try to catch up on Arrow. I know I'm definitely going to check out The Flash. Let's see. I'll probably get caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just so I can be in the same realm as everybody, because I just want Kyle and I to at least be on the same page of when we're talking about stuff, so I'm not just going, what? I'll definitely check out Agent Carter, and then and then we'll look forward to the Netflix series when they start coming.
Walking Dead comes out on my birthday, October 12th.
Very nice. I'm huge on Walking Dead, so of course I'll talk about that. No other, but yeah, we'll start working on our TV segments. I guess in the show notes we'll make a section for that of like our opinion of we could do stuff like Easter, like you'll talk about the Easter eggs you found. We'll talk about how strong the episode was. We could talk about, does it fit really well? Do we like where the storyline is going? So we'll have a bunch of great segments coming up during the. I think that actually kind of works out. During the summer we'll do our whole movie segments because the summer blockbusters. And then during the off seasons of those movies, we'll do the TV segments and stuff. So we'll still check out comic books as well. I just got to get my ass moving on finding new comic books to read and recommending and all this kind of stuff. So thank you for bearing with us, though.
Same here.
But of course, you can find me on Twitter at Stephen Mooney Jr. You also follow us at Twitter on Longboxcast on the Twitters. Don't forget to give our Facebook page a like. Also, don't forget to check out other great shows on the 4i Radio Network. And I think... Oh, and you can also follow me on Instagram at smooneyjr.com. Or not .com, just smooneyjr. I don't know why I put the .com. But, and then, Kyle, until next time.
Yes, Longboxcast. We have too many issues for a short box.
Boom. This has been another fine production of the 4i Radio Network. For more great shows, check out www.4iradio.com.